So, back for round 6 of the High Roller Draft League. Doing pretty well so far. Gone 4-1, so just one more win guarantees top cut. At the moment, given how things are looking to end up being, because there's been some extremes at the top and some extremes on the bottom of the table in terms of winning and losing. 4-4s could make it, and I'm a pretty decent 4-1 at the moment, so may have already qualified, but of course want one more win to guarantee it, and want the rest of the wins because money's involved, so of course. So you can see the team I'm going up against this week, KiddNinjas. It is probably the most scary team I've faced so far. It has been quite difficult to prepare for this. The practice going into this, I was losing a lot. I can't really cover everything. So I've covered the most amount I can, and we'll just have to see how it goes from there. So yeah, not bringing Blastoise this week. So Blastoise was pretty reasonable, but in order to cover other things, I've had to leave it on the bench so that I could try and cover the most amount of things possible. It's not great against the Tapu Koko, the Primarina, and the Sceptile, but it's decent against the rest. But oh well, not bringing it. Spring Clefable instead. Still just going to be a supportive one this week. Is going to be able to survive the Primarina, Max Geyser, and a Bandit's Icicle Crash from the Darmanitan, so just going out full bulk with this. Did have Flamethrower originally, so I could hit the Sizzle, but yeah, it'll just bullet punch me, so I'm going to just have Heal Pulse instead, just as some extra recovery, because I've got a reasonably bulky team. I've got Copperaja, which can get the boosts of Steel and Steel Spike and Max Quake, so I can get the defense boost, and then the Heal Pulse could come into play in that regard. I've got great coverage against the team with Copperaja. If I get into Trick Room with Copperaja, it could do a lot of work. It definitely could this week, so that is going to be one of the modes that I'm going to be going with. It needs all 4 of those coverage moves. I can't really drop one for Protect, unfortunately, and I even wanted things like Play Rough as well to hit the Garchomp and the Umbreon, but oh well, can't fit everything on. Primarina was an issue, so I put Power Whip instead of Play Rough. It was originally Play Rough, but Helping Hands, Max Overgrowth, Oko, Dynamax, Clefable, so that's what I'm going with here. And just maximize attack, and then there's no particular defensive calc. I've just split it so that the defenses are half the HP, because if there's no specific calc you need, just go for the general bulk, and that's the best way to optimize the general bulk. So yeah, Copperaja, if it gets into Trick Room, could be very decent. Crocodile was originally Choice Scarf, so it could just high horsepower the Tapu Koko, or just bulldoze some things, but instead going for a much bulkier Crocodile and me running Weakness Policy on it this week. I was saying to Keen, why would I ever Weakness Policy the Crocodile when I could just Anger Point it? But yeah, I don't want to bring Frostlasts, and Weakness Policy is free, so why not? It's the main answer against the Marowak. The Marowak can definitely be an issue. If I get into Trick Room and Copperaja is gone, then it definitely can be annoying for the team. So Crocodile is one of the main answers to it, taking over the role of the Blastoise to be able to do that. So very bulky here. And be able to just KO the Tapu Koko with a high horsepower. Power Trip is there because it's the same base power max move as Darkest Lariat or anything like that, as the Max Darkness, because I'm very likely going to be Dynamaxing the Crocodile in this game if I do end up bringing it, and then Power Trip gets to use the Weakness Policy boosts and be stronger than the Darkest Lariat would be, and also if I've got some Max Quake boosts as well, that adds to the power of Power Trip afterwards. So, and Fire Fang is just there for the Scizor as well. So yeah, very bulky Crocodile. Was initially nice and fast, but now it's going to be just nice and slow. It's going to outspeed a Tapu Koko that's going to outspeed my Latios if I get to +1 or they get to -1. I don't feel the need to go any faster than that. They've got no reason to be faster than that with Tapu Koko, so that's what I'm going with. Minchao is still going to be just a normal Focus Sash. It's still going to be Reckless High Jump Kick because there wasn't really too many reasons to have Inner Focus. Like, I guess Scarf Rock Slide Flinch, and I'm going to get flinched by this Minchao, but it's got Wide Guard to be able to stop that as well, and the extra power of Reckless and High Jump Kick could tip some things over the edge. Because I initially had Poison Jab as well for the Primarina and the Tapu Koko, but High Jump Kick still does a lot of damage. It's still 2 shots the Primarina, and Poison Jab doesn't Oko, so we're just going to go for the High Jump there. Knockoff is mainly for the Marowak. If I can get rid of the Thick Club, Marowak won't be as much of an issue anymore. And then just the standard Fake Out Wide Guards, because there's a lot of spread moves that can come out of the team. Lots of Dazzling Gleams, lots of Rock Slides, and lots of Earthquakes as well. So yeah, going to have just Wide Guard on this Minchao. Porygon Z is probably the most interesting one with the room service. So it's able to outspeed a Garchomp that is when I'm at +1 or they're at -1 from a max strike, for example. But it also underspeeds neutral speed Primarina in Trick Room. So I don't think they would be going min speed on their Primarina. Like, they don't particularly have a reason to. They could be going slightly faster, so if they go the Crobat mode, then they would be fast enough to outspeed my Latios at +2, and in that regard, I would underspeed them in the Trick Room when my room service is activated. So yeah, just got some general bulk there to be able to survive some things. I think it was a Garchomp, Max Quake, and a Primarina Hydro Cannon, but both not Life Orb, I don't think. I don't think Porygon Z would be able to do it while still being able to OHKO Garchomp with an Ice Beam, is what the special attack was for. So last one is going to be the Zapdos. I'm going to have the Assault Vest because that allows me to justifiably run U-turn on it, so I can U-turn my own Crocodile in case I want to lead with Crocodile Zapdos and just U-turn for the weakness policy. And then just the standard moves otherwise. Going to outspeed the Darmanitan, and then that means that I'll outspeed a Scarf Darmanitan if I've got +1 speed, or if they've got -1 speed from a max strike, and then just a tiny bit of bulk. Definitely wants to just maximize the special attack because I need to still be able to hit the Primarina pretty hard. So, like, in practice, Primarina was probably one of the biggest issues, so I've just maximized the attack. I haven't gone for any specific defensive calc, just the maximum attack that I need because I need to be pretty fast for Darmanitan and then just hit as hard as possible. So, yeah, this week I am not looking forward to because practice went horribly. I lost so much, and now I've got somewhat of a reasonable team. Like, I did initially have a weakness policy Latios, and the Blastoise was Assault Vest at one point, and they were okay, but I can't cover everything. I still can't cover everything, and we'll see if I face the thing that I have not covered.